Okay, I think I started it. Did I? Okay, yeah, it's going. So, finally, this is where the time skip goes. This is where we're gonna skip to Deku. 7 years and a few, or almost 7 years, but he's 14, going on to 15. And this is where Deku would be found with armor on, water swords with energy on, with elements on them, fire and black lightning. No, black fire and black lightning. A metal mask, a black metal mask with a speaker on it. Scarves. And he would hold these giant swords, or these two like swords, and he would stand up and he would jump off into the air, seemingly flying, with elements behind him, a fire, wind, and all that up there. And he would also have lightning, fire, and wind, flying with 2 black shadowy wings blasting through this, flying above the whole wall, with people saying, is that within a black lore. And this character is known as the Black Hunter, the unknown hunter that destroys many enemies for the past 7 years. And his wolf that is flying behind him. And I decided to give Asha the demonic powers, just because it's his power that was mixed into it, so you have to give back to the lilies. Yeah, so, yeah. The black dog, or the white peer dog, with the white-haired people, the demonic beast. There's just crazy stories about them, pretty much. None of them are proven to be true. But yeah, he would get there, but everybody knows him as the Black Demon because all of his powers are black, not white or anything like that. And his white dog, and stuff like that. He has been known to destroy a whole bunch of monsters and be one of the richest people, because his monster count is above even Endeavor, the previous highest account, and all that. But this is where Deku would get home, and this would be after school and stuff, and he'd get home saying hi to his mother. She'd say hi to him. And Deku doesn't go to school anymore with anybody. But the reason why he doesn't go to school anymore is because what he did, he took advanced lessons to pass grades without going through them. And he skipped all the grades pretty much. I don't think it's possible to skip all the grades unless you're that smart or something. Or I'm pretty sure they won't even allow it, but I guess Deku did it. But yeah, he would get there, say hi to the mom. She would ask how his training went. He would say okay. And she would see another scar, another scar on him. He said, did you, she would say, stop hurting yourself whenever you train. He would say that it's okay, Mom, it wasn't too bad. And she would say, but it's literally a foot long. How did you say it's not that bad? Ooh. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. But yeah. So Deku would just, oh my god. But yeah, so Deku would just be going home and he would be applying for UA. And he has a 10-month training, which I'm just going to skip, which these training will be done inside the desert. Yes, the desert. Yes, I have one more episode for you guys, and this has a good meaning to it. It's going to be pretty good. But in this 10-month training, Deku is going to the place that he's been looking for. The dragon's lair that took him forever to find whenever he went to the desert. And stuff like that. It's been so long, but the dragon's chamber is an area where dragons are born and they are fully grown, but there's one dragon in particular that is giant compared to the rest. This giant is known as the king of the sky, also the king of earth, because he is earth dragon, which are seen as the weakest dragons, but his high levels of amount of strength prove them wrong, because earth dragons only seem to have the power over earth, which can't be used in much long range attacks like fire and all that. So that causes people to look down on earth, or dragons to look down on them, but he became the king. So in this, Deku would have just came there and he would have went through this. So the first layer of dragons are known as the second weakest dragons, though. They're the wind dragons. Wind dragons have a low amount of energy, and their moves are not as devastating as the rest. But what they do is have spells or powers to enhance other dragons or increase their strength and speed. Making them useful in teams. But since this, Deku would have taken out his blade with the dragons jumping on him. He was swinging his two blades into X formation, saying black X, which would create an X formation of these two elements. Just cause them to slice them in half. And Deku will just kind of go through this with him able to creep through this area, those shadows. The next level, because Deku is already have stronger abilities in them, but what he does learn from this is how to enhance people with his winds, as that's the build he gets from them. And he would max it out off the bat from killing so many at once. So he would but yeah, so next ones would be known as water dragons. Water dragons are similar to wind dragons, but their attacks can be used as waves, long range, and they can control seas. So they're also known to have great regeneration powers because that's the dragons. One of the old chief dragons was known as the three-headed dragon figure. You know, I forget what they're called. You know, like those like dragon sort of things that can grow back their heads in multiple times. Yeah, those things. I forgot what they're called because I'm terrible. Because of this, that's why they're could be strong, but none of them have the same regeneration powers as that last one, or as that chief one. So that's why they're been pushed to the bottom, because their power is rare to be strong, pretty much. Even rarer than Earth's. Or Earth's are rare though. This is whenever Deku would have took his water and they would shoot shockwaves at him. He would of course dodge these attacks by throwing water attacks of his own, swinging his blades, pretty much dual blading this, knocking back attacks. And he would just be taking these downs, and that's whenever he would make wires in the air, pretty much. And you would take these wires, and these would be the cutting ones. So he would swing, he would put them all over, and that's whenever he would grab them, clenching them tight towards him, and he would say, water net cutter. And these would shock water and cut through a couple of them. But they wouldn't cut them in them half, of course, but they would be stuck in them, sort of. And every time they try to get out, it would worsen the pain, because it would cut deeper and deeper. But Deku would eventually let them go by saying, engulf in hell flames, with black fire creeping from him, and it would completely vaporize them, practically. But it would completely destroy them, pretty much. But after this, the next dragons. These ones are known as fire dragons. Fire dragons, there has been Igneal in the past. Igneal was known as the god of dragons, and he was the strongest dragon there was, and unlike the rest of the dragons, he was not defeated by another dragon. He stayed as the top chief until he just left all of a sudden, like he didn't want to be it anymore. He always didn't want to be. But he's known as the god, the fire dragon god. But because the rest of them fire dragons haven't been that strong in such a long time, because he was super old back in the days where it was that they have been pushed below lightning dragons because lightning dragons are ridiculously strong and all that. So yeah, these ones would be simple, but because Deku's flames are so dramatically hotter, Deku would be able to kill them by using his flames to engulf theirs, and he would take his blades and he would just throw them in the air, engulfing them in wind, swinging them around with his hands. And what would happen is he would say Carnival Aid, or he would say Swords Carnival, which he would create more of them, throwing them in the air, and they would continue spinning even faster and faster, and they'll continuously cut them over and over, spinning faster every time. And he would say it's never ending. I mean, he would cut them down. Deku has got even stronger than when he was whenever he left. He just hasn't gained any new abilities. Because I didn't want to give him any abilities, except I didn't get but fire from, Todoroki, but at least I had the fire a little different, but yeah. That's about the only one. And all that. But yeah, this is whenever they would get to, it would be the Lightning Dragons next. And because the Earth Dragon had a grudge against all of them, he forced them to be like a lower ranking than them. Everybody lower ranking, even though these dragons are even weaker than the what? Oh my god. It's come out. Good thing. Even weaker than the wind dragons. But the lightning dragons, Deku would have just pretty much countered them with his lightning, doing a lightning battle. But Deku, took his blades, and he would have turned it into a spear after that. Whenever he does this, it would cause him to be able to, he would be able to shoot, he would take the spear, and he would start stabbing them with this lightning spear. And they would of course try to dodge this, which they would be fast enough to do. And that's whenever he would shoot it out, saying lightning lance, which the lance would turn, or he would say lightning snake, with the lance turning into a snake-like figure, and it would catch on lightning, and it would move around like a snake throughout the air. And it would pierce them by cutting through them and bite them, poisoning them with his poison that he's used in this, is what he does with the ability and all that. Because of this, Deku would take down them, and now it's Earth ones. If he meets Earth ones, he thinks the ones at top would be the strongest, but they're not. And whenever he sees this, he's so disappointed. He's like, I thought it was going by how strong they are, but all of a sudden the strength dropped. And he would get there, and whenever he battles them, Deku would battle them, and all that. With Deku kind of just slaughtering them, he can't overpower them with his own elements because he doesn't have the element yet. But he would gain the ability, but he wouldn't even use it because how weak they were, thinking that it was a weak ability. And he should just, get one of the Wolfskin ability. Which, how does the Wolf get the ability? I would say by blood transfer. By his blood that he can give them ability. But once he gives away the ability, he has to either kill the thing again, or, yeah, that's about it, or kill something with the same ability. But he would do this, but he would gain quite a lot of durability from this, and a lot of strength, because that's what Earth Dragons were the best at. They can take a lot of hits, but that's where he would get to the top. And he would versus the Earth Dragon. This one would say pillar, just shooting pillars like the rest of them. He's like, really? This is supposed to be king? But that's whenever a pillar, really thin one, would go to strike him. With him seeing these are spikes, he'll backflip away and he'll be like, it's not worthy enough to take my full power. But yeah, he'll be dodging this. Eventually he would activate his flying ability. And he'll start dodging. And that's whenever he would say, take this, saying Earth. He would say fossilization, actually, Earth fossilization. Which what would happen is Earth would come from the sky. And I'll say there's plants in this area. And he would dodge these because of where these attacks was to do. And they would hit one of the plants or the trees, and as soon as it touches it, it would turn into a rock, pretty much. And he would be like, really? That's what? So he has the ability to fossilize people with this and all that. And stuff like that. That must be dangerous and all that. And it was the quickest fossilization I've ever seen. And all that. Because other ones can fossilize, but they were like slow, and you can probably break off the skin part, or else none of the melts can fossilize people. But that's whenever he would see them, or he would see him activate his ability known as Rock Rush, and this would let him speed through and just shoot rock attacks. I don't know, man. Rock is really hard to use, that's why I hate using it. But this is where he would say Mud Dragons. And what this would do is let him use mud, and it would make mud dragons, and they would shoot towards Deku. But where they shoot towards Deku would see this, and he would, of course, just break it, seeing that as some weak attack compared to the fossilization one. And that's whenever that mud dragon that he sliced in half would reform. Whenever it reforms, it would reform completely, and continuously attacking with, it would grow another head also. Deku would completely destroy the body this time, with it coming back over and over, with him channeling electricity, and he would pop right through it. And so this is where he figures out all these dragons everywhere are useless attack, and he would rush toward the rock dragon and all that, and he would take his blades and he'd swing, saying demonic shadow twister, and he would twist using his lightning and everything, cutting them in half with a lot of force to cut through him, and this is where I'll end it off. Goodbye. Yeah, that took 10 months to get through that, because I'm not talking about it was like one room full of them. I'm talking about there's armies on armies of these things. So yeah, there was no pushover, how it made it seem. But yeah, so this is just where I leave it off. Goodbye.